Good morning, everyone. Lawrence Fleming here. Well, yesterday was a good day, a different day. God had other plans for me. I guess it was the night before last that I tried to do a live video. And let me see if I can get the lake in here. And the phone was acting up. It was not recording right. There were problems with it. I managed to complete it, save it, and then that was it. It died. So I checked around to find out which T-Mobile store I could go to. The one in Noonan was the best choice for me because I had a problem. I've gotten spoiled, lazy. I use my navigator for everything. I think I have a map in the glove box, but I'm not sure. I had to find a T-Mobile without the aid of a phone. What are we all going to do when the phones die? Think about it. I didn't have a plan B. Well, I had a plan C, and that was go to the freeway and drive to Noonan and go to where I think I know the T-Mobile store is. Well, I made it. I got off on the wrong exit and had to drive through Old Town, but it took me a little longer, but I knew where I was at by that time. Hit every stoplight, every traffic light, so plenty of good time to talk to God. Why are we doing this? Why are you taking me all the way up here? Well, I get to the store, and I'll go into that for a bit, but the reason of why. You have to wait. These stores are never staffed properly because they don't have consistent number of people. They either show up all at once or there's nobody there. So I was like third in line, so I sat down and some old guy came in and sat next to me. His daughter, I think, was helping him get a new phone. And he heard me say that I have this website. And he goes, I'm a Christian. And so for the next hour or so that I waited, we talked. And a number of different things. He did most of the talking, I did most of the listening, but I did have a few things to say. The fun part about it was you could hear the in the room, everybody else in there. And someone would say, well, I'm a Christian, but I don't go to church, or God always takes care of me, or whatever. You could hear it in the background, just little bits and pieces. So as to why I was there, didn't take long to figure that out. Okay, and of course I'm there to get my new free phone. I know how this works. I know how to play the game. The phone's dead. I don't buy insurance. I never do, because these things are warranty protected. And I also have the option of I let my policies lapse so that I have some bargaining room. If I am locked into a contract, I can't bargain. So anyhow, they're telling me, well, they don't have my replacement phone there in the store. They'll look around. They can't find one. They, of course, do their pretend calls to other people and can't find one. But we got this one here. It's just a slight upgrade, a little bit more a month. See the game they're playing? Well, eventually I said, well, I saw that there was a Verizon store down the street. I think I'm going to go see if they're giving me a new phone for free for extending this. And they said, well, let me look one more time in the back. Of course. And they found one, of course, and I'm back up and running. It's taken pretty much all night to get a lot of the upgrades on. But because I do a backup, you have to make sure that you, especially if you have a home internet, make your phone back up. When it backs up, if you lose the phone, it gets destroyed. You can't access it like mine. I could not access mine, so I couldn't tell it how to transfer the files across. I had to come off of a backup. I don't want to sneeze. So anyhow, I restored. It's a couple weeks old, but pretty much everything that I do is this. So all my videos are uploaded by now that are that old. Okay, let's take a look around the world and see what's going on. We don't want to get complacent. We're waiting for Christ's return, and he's not here yet. You know, is it supposed to be this weekend or this week? The days are off. We've talked about that. The calendar's off. We've got people saying that it's different days for this and that, and you're not supposed to know the day. And this is not about the verse that says you won't know the day or the hour. That's for the second coming. Basically, the same problem exists. If you know the day of something big is going to happen, like a rapture or God coming back, you know, when I say you, some people would party up until the last minute. Let's say he's coming back on the 10th next month. And I'm not giving that as a date, I'm just giving it for example. I have no idea what the 10th is next month. I made it up, okay? Because we're not too far from the 10th this month. If I knew that for a fact, I'd go buy a brand new car. I'd go buy an expensive brand new car, one that I don't need a lot of money for, just to get in and get it and get out. They typically make your first month's payment, they stick it on the end. You never get a free ride on anything, but they make you think you're getting a month free. So they send you home with the new car with the payment due in 30 days. Well, great, you're never going to have to pay it. And that's just one example. Satan's full of ideas on how to overextend yourself here. So we're not going to know the time just for that reason. But it's also because God doesn't want Satan to know. I've told you before why we're waiting. We're waiting for the Revelation 12 attack, essentially. And that's in Satan's ball. That's his ball to throw. Until he's ready, we're not going to know. Now, when I say don't give up, don't lose heart, which is a lot of Satan's game. If he can get you to give up, he's never coming back, I'm just going to go ahead and have fun and party and do all the other things I want to do. Don't do that. If somebody picks a date and it's right or wrong, it doesn't matter. Satan will pick 2 or 3 other dates just to kind of confuse matters. Go down here and look at these paddle boats, just in case I decide I want to go out. It means I'd actually have to work, huh? I hike all over the place. Paddle boats would be easy, as long as the wind's not blowing. I'm looking at the water down below. I don't see minnows. I should see minnows and I don't. It's too cold for them to come up, I guess. Okay, so we're trying to stay focused. We don't know the time. But do we give up? Do we assume it's not going to happen? Just look around. North Korea just launched a ballistic missile over Japan. They didn't launch it at them. They're not that stupid. North Korea has a problem. They're a little country with nothing to offer. And when they get attention, they love it. They eat it up. Russia's taking all the attention right now with Ukraine. So they have to do something. So they launch a missile. Well, South Korea and the Americans, they launch missiles too. You can do it, we can do it. Big deal. Now go back in your hole. So he may try to pull something. We'll have to see what's happening later. They know if they start something, they'll never be able to finish it. China's going to get into some problems here. They're having financial problems like everybody else, and they don't really want to pay for a war right yet. Okay. Russia has a submarine that they've told everybody about. It says, here's our submarine that's got the biggest nuke in the world on it. This is our strategy to help win. So we've got this big monster nuke. Nobody's ever launched a nuke this big, but we have it. Well, if you've watched Red October and you know that we've got satellites looking at bases, that submarine has gone missing. It didn't get up and walk away and go hide in the woods. I mean, it's under the water someplace, but we don't know where it's at. Where is it? It's Schrodinger's sub, if you catch the meaning. Where is it? So that's a deterrent. Now we've got nukes on our subs, and they're out there all over the place too. But this was a specific one. This one had the biggest, baddest bomb ever. Okay. Russia's also come in and said that if any country is really having problems and the people are going to be starving, we'll come in and aid you. We'll come in and help. Yeah, just like our government. We'll come in and help, but if we feed you, you've got to promise to be woke or we're not going to feed you anymore. We'll let you starve because we don't care about you. We just want to destroy everything. But they don't go and finish the sentence. But here's your money. Here you won't starve. Here's the strings attached. We've seen the increase in earthquakes and things like that. We know that that's increasing but not catastrophic yet. The sun appears to be waking up. It's been in kind of a dormant state, as if an active nuclear engine can go dormant, but it's been quiet. We know that when it erupts into a solar flare, if it comes towards the Earth, it can do damage to our satellite systems and even our ground systems because of all that radiation. Musk had some satellites destroyed a few months ago from such flare. They classify flares like they do earthquakes. There's a number standard. The worst case flare is an X class. And we're getting X classes now. And we're getting sunspots that are capable of producing X classes that just haven't yet. So it's becoming more and more active. If we get hit by a bunch of X classes, it could knock out all of our communication. I just experienced that yesterday, not having a phone. Imagine what it will do to the rest of the world not having a phone. Oh, and along that line, somebody might do this deliberately. The reason is Google has now put up on their Google Maps Russian military bases. So anybody can see where there's a Russian base or an airport. Just pull it up on Google Maps. I don't know how the search engine works on that, but I know that they're there. You might have to drill down and look for them. Just knowing where to look maybe would be a help. Before, without it, you would just see roads and things like that, but now they've got bases marked. Okay, thanks Google, making the war easier. Let's see. SpaceX is going to launch another crew to the space station today on SpaceX, so you can watch for that. It'll be on YouTube. It's getting to be so commonplace now that we don't even think about it, and I pray it stays commonplace. No more disasters. Let's see. One of my Messianic Jews on YouTube just said that Berkeley, the university in California, California's crazy. Berkeley has been leading the craziness for years. We used to call them berserkly. Well, they are crazy. Anyhow, they've just put up a ban on Jewish speakers. No one Jewish can speak at their college. And it has to be followed because it's from a high level. So if that's not telling you we're getting into this anti-Semitic age, yes, let's see what else I got. Oh, and the weather guys are all saying that this year, I've been talking about a cold winter, but they're saying we're going to get a rare La Nina this year, which means it's going to be cold, extra long, during a time when energy crisis is upon us. Satan's running things. This is all, perfectly timed to be discomforting, to be unpleasant. And this is just, nudging the edge. We haven't even started the bad stuff yet. We're still here, so the bad stuff isn't close yet. So we keep watching. Today that I'm recording this is the full day of the Day of Atonement, the official Jewish date. And you know what, I've talked about dates before, so which date is God going to use? Or more appropriately, which date is Satan going to use to start everything? We're almost ready. The economies of the world are about to crash. Every country is having issues. We're pushing it along because we want one world government. Russia's pushing along because they want one world domination by them. They're going to have to pay their price eventually. They're going to have to get involved in this. And they will be part of the 10 alliances that take down the harlot. But they're going to have a couple of wars first. So keep an eye out for those. Huh? We are coming into winter, which we were warned about. Pray that if you have to leave and flee Jerusalem, that it's not in the winter. As we get further in, it's going to get colder. It's going to be harder to flee. And they get snow there. They even have a Mount Hermon up there where you can actually go skiing on it. They have ski lifts and everything. It's a resort. So they do get cold weather. Even the deserts get cold, just like our deserts here in the United States get cold. I've got one job to do first week in November. If we're still here, God willing, my plan is to head southwest. I don't mean California, I mean like Arizona. Go where everybody else does to get out of the cold. Now there'll be some cold there, but it won't be as bad as it is up in the mountains. People that do this all the time in their RVs, they winter in Arizona and go up into the mountains when it gets to be summer. Now, I'm not here to have fun and play. I've been trying to leave for a year and a half now, and God keeps making me stay, so we'll see. The parks here are nice, so I don't have a problem with that. I'm just trying to keep warm, but I have a heater in my tent, so I get up, take the chill off. It was about 45 this morning when I got up. Turned the heater on, it got up to 60. Won't go any further than that because the tent's full of holes by design. It's got a mesh on the top. The rainfly protects, but the mesh is so that you get plenty of air circulation. Even if you had a smoke fire in there, which would be absolutely stupid, most of the smoke would go out the top. They got to build these things idiot-proof because there are very talented idiots out there. All right, I normally would have a quick Bible study to go with this, but I spent most of the day running my phone down and waiting for all the applications to update. I think I'm in good shape. I'm recording right now, so the next thing to do is to edit this and then upload it. I want to try to get this done before it's too late. We're doing good on time. Get back on a normal schedule tomorrow. To what a normal schedule can be, I don't know. Friday I'm moving. I don't know where I'm going yet. God in His infinite wisdom of making me wait, which He does all the time, and I know He does it all the time, so I don't worry about it. I just put a check in yesterday that will cover the next 2 or 3 weeks. I always have money when I need it, but not before. Because if I had it before, I'd spend it, as we all would. So when my check clears, I'll be able to make a reservation. So I probably won't make a reservation until Friday after I'm packed and move out of here. There are 2 county sites that never have anybody in them, and that's where I'm going to be going. One has electricity and one doesn't. So I'm going to find out which one I'm going to go to. Come, I think the 15th, I've got to be at my son's place for a week to watch his cats because his roommate's going to be gone too, and nobody's going to be there. So I'm going to move in for a week so I can keep an eye on his cats, feed them, and do all the other stuff. So for a week anyway, 8 or 9 days, whatever, including the weekend, I'll be there. And so I won't have to worry about my tent set up. Save some money too. Just got to deal with cats. I think there's 8 cats in the house. Yeah. Yeah, and there's multiple cat boxes. Okay. Because Friday's a moving day and I don't know where I'm going. Friday video will be out. Saturday might be like today. I might be late. In fact, I might start doing that on a regular basis just to make my Saturday and Sunday video later. And the reason for that is on Sunday, if I can, I will be going to church. And I can't film when I'm doing that. As I'm walking back, I've got the sun at my back, so hopefully you can see me. But I keep telling myself, it can't be much longer. It can't be much longer. But things keep setting up. All the things we're watching, all the news stations, when I watch them now, are all saying we're on the edge of a collapse. And our government, who could reverse the process, is making all the wrong moves, according to the financial people. You saw in the UK where the new prime minister there tried to do something and got yelled at for trying to do a new budget and quickly reversed it. So they're getting ready. All the currencies are really doing bad against our dollar. So our dollar is actually up around the world. The problem with that is they're about ready to crash our dollar to switch us over to digital. And all these countries around the world that are basing everything off of it are going to crash too. That's what happened in '29. Our bank crash that caused the Great Depression put Germany in a depression too. And that's where the little a, Antichrist Hitler, came in and got them out of the depression, got them all back working and eating again, and they were very happy with his work. He made the cover of Time magazine 3 times. He didn't get the 4th one, because we know what he did. But that's how quick and easy it is for someone like Satan to bring somebody to power like that. And nobody knew who he was before that. And yet he got in there and did all that. So the big A, Antichrist, is out there somewhere. Some mild-mannered office worker or dictator someplace. It doesn't matter what their job is. Once they get promoted, they get the skills to do whatever they need to do. So keep watching. Don't give up. We are going to be out of here soon. And don't be afraid of what's happening. I have a friend over here on the, there he goes, on the railing. Okay, till we meet in the clouds. God bless. That's what a lake looks like first thing in the morning. See the fog rising. Virtually no wind. Sun's just over the trees there. This also tells you it's cool out, which it is. It's in the 40s.